Our State of the U.S. segment tonight, well, so much for the tolerant left. On Monday, Kathy Griffin posted a picture of herself holding what was supposed to be the severed head of President Trump. Actions like this, they're supposed to have consequences. So are liberals comfortable peddling rhetoric that incites political violence? Joining me now, host of the Andrea Kaye radio show, Andrea Kaye, and Democratic strategist Kevin Walling. Andrea, Kevin, thanks for being here.
Good to be with you.
Great to be with you, Liz.
All right, guys, I want to start this segment by showing this video of Kathy Griffin. This was behind the scenes at her infamous photo shoot. Let's take a look.
I won't give away what we're doing, but Tyler and I are not afraid to do images that make noise. Come on.
Ready?
Yeah. We're going to we have to move to Mexico today because we're going to get federal prison.
Yeah.
Call your dad, apologize, but let's me and Daryl just go to Mexico today.
Kevin, let me turn directly to you for this one. Explain this, and I know this is not an easy thing to defend. I hope you don't defend it, but how is this not the height of hypocrisy for, liberals to accuse President Trump of using rhetoric that incites violence and then not really condemning too strongly this image that Kathy Griffin released that can only be described as being similar to ISIS propaganda?
Well, Liz, this is horrifying, what Kathy Griffin did. She's a comedian. She does outlandish things. But this clearly went way too far. I'm a proud Democrat, and I condemn this completely out of hand. It's disgusting, and I know members of the Trump family have seen it, and it's just horrifying imagery. But I don't think the hypocrisy that you refer to is relegated just to the Democratic side. I mean, you have a guy like Ted Nugent, who openly called for lynching and beheading Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and was not condemned by the Republican media, the Republican party officials. And in fact, he was invited to the White House for dinner with President Trump back in April. So the heated rhetoric is horrifying, right? And both sides are to blame. But again, Kathy Griffin was openly pushed aside by this party, openly condemned by leadership on Capitol Hill. Both with Speaker Pelosi and Senator
a few
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
It's good. I mean, Chelsea Clinton came out and condemned that too. But listen, Andrea, this is not what I'm seeing on Twitter. This is not what I'm seeing in the blogosphere. This is not what I'm seeing from the liberal populace, I suppose. They're actually saying, sure, it's offensive. We're kind of brushing it under the rug and then saying, but Trump's more offensive. The things he says and the things he does are more offensive. And why was his 11-year-old son watching television and seeing this anyway? I mean, the defense of this is appalling to me.
Absolutely. First of all, the left always likes to try to find some type of moral equivalency to justify their horrendous behavior. I'm not aware that Ted Nugent ever did a video holding up a bloody, decapitated head of President Obama. I am aware of Kathy Griffin, though. I am aware, Kevin, I let you speak. I am aware of Kathy Griffin blaming Sarah Palin and her crosshairs political district map for the shooting of Gabby Giffords. I'm also aware that Ken Jennings and others actually went so far as to not only double down in support of Kathy Griffin, saying that it was somehow artistic. And oh, by the way, her apology never apologized to President Trump himself. But Ken Jennings, a liberal who actually writes children's books, actually mocked Barron Trump for his
he did that. He actually did that on my Twitter account yesterday. It was a response to my tweet, Ken Jennings, on my Twitter account. Let's go on to this next. We have several examples here, and I want to make sure we get through them all. This next video, this is Snoop Dogg, and you'll see what he's doing in this video. Take a look. I mean, Kevin, as you can plainly see, he is pretending, he is simulating the assassination of a clown dressed like President Trump. Kevin, again, the horrendous, the atrocity of the simulation of this act. Imagine if this were reversed. Imagine for 1 second if a conservative who was as high profile as Snoop Dogg, the rapper, made a video pretending to assassinate President Obama. Do you actually think the reaction would be equal?
Again, I mean, you've seen Ted Nugent on the Republican side do the very same thing. On video, call for the beheading of Barack Obama during the 2012 re-election campaign. I would argue that Ted Nugent is on the same level in terms of popularity on the Republican side as Snoop Dogg is with some Democrats on our side. Again, both things are horrifying. this is not a great thing for this country to be going down this road.
Is that the only example that you've got that you keep Kevin, you keep talking about Ted Nugent. Can we talk about the rodeo clown who had to go through sensitivity training and he was banned for life?
Palin, a vice presidential.
Okay.
Andrew, you brought up Sarah Palin, a vice presidential candidate, calling to not retreat but reload a week before Gabby Giffords was shot in the face.
There is no connection between what Sarah Palin. No, I brought up Kathy. What I brought up was Kathy Griffin's hypocrisy. She's the one who blames Sarah Palin, and there's absolutely it's reprehensible. It was reprehensible for Kathy Griffin and for you to try to connect Sarah Palin to that. Let's stay. Speaking of Snoop Dogg, back to the lecture at hand, as Snoop once said. Let's get back to the fact that the left. Let's talk about Madonna on inauguration at the rally, talking about dreaming of blowing up the White House. You know, if these have been done, and I'm not aware of Ted Nugent doing that, but you keep bringing up one example. Let's say he did. Let's talk about all the other celebrities. Let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg with a T-shirt on showing some bloody image of Donald Trump. Why can't we agree that it's not both sides doing this equally? The left has been getting away with their intolerance while pretending to be the party of tolerance. They have been the party of their definition of tolerance is submission. And what all of this is acting out in order to, because liberalism is about control. All this is you either submit to us, submit to our policies of what we want, or there's going to be hell to pay, and we're going to somehow punish you either by using the PC bullying stick, or it's even progressed. The progressives have now even progressed into actual acts of violence through Antifa, through trying to shut down conservatives, trying to speak at colleges and beyond.
The only acts of violence that I saw on the campaign trail were at Trump rallies.
Right, and Kevin, no, it was liberals who threw eggs at a woman at a Trump rally.
Well, right, and we also know, in regards to the Trump rallies, we also know that Hillary Clinton hired consulting firms that were paid to stir up that violence. So that's not exactly the best answer. Kevin, let me ask you one very quickly. We're about out of time here, but I am, just for curiosity's sake, do you equate Sarah Palin's rhetoric saying we need to reload and, reload in regards to regaining those seats in Congress? Do you equate that type of rhetoric with what Kathy Griffin did, holding up the severed head, the fake severed head of President Trump?
I think it's all disgusting, Liz. I think it's all disgusting. And Sarah Palin saying that we should, reload and relock. Donald Trump saying that we need Second Amendment responses to Hillary Clinton's campaign. Again, both sides add to this heated rhetoric. What Kathy Griffin did is disgusting, but again, what Donald Trump has endorsed through his language of, openly talking about sexually assaulting women, inviting Ted Nugent to the White House to celebrate his horrifying comments about President Obama.
No, I don't know. I don't think it's the same thing. I mean,
this is disgusting.
People who saw this Kathy Griffin thing originally thought it was an actual ISIS propaganda video. That is not, I mean, that is not the same thing at all. And the fact that liberals are pivoting, it is appalling to me.